What's up? What's up? What's up? I want to welcome everybody to the Billy Graham Jr. TV show. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Man, I hope y'all are having a blessed week, and I hope we really can touch some hearts and some lives today because, man, we have an amazing young lady that's coming on today. She is the owner of My Mama Made It. She hails from Watts, California. She currently resides in Minot, North Dakota. And I know you all are wondering, Minot, we're going to touch on to that because these business owners and different personalities, they're from all over the world. And as usual, I want you to learn how to live in your purpose by seeing individuals that are actually using their gifts to live in their purpose. So I'm not even finna hold you up. I'm not finna slow this thing down because, man, I got a powerful one and I want you to meet her. Her name is Goldie Colette. She's been in business for a year. But before I even dive in and start giving away her secrets and her tips, I want you to meet her yourself so you can meet the one and the only Goldie Colette.
Thank you, Billy.
What's going on? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I am fine. So I know I started off the show with Watts, California, where you're from, and said you're in Minot. And a lot of people are like, Minot, North Dakota. Like some people don't even know, they know where it is on the map. But what made you before we get into your business and how you got started, how did you get from Watts, California, where it's nice and warm, to Minot, North Dakota, where the weather is just straight disrespectful? How did you get from one to the other?
Well, I grew up in Watts, California, and I moved to Las Vegas when I was 19. I stayed there for about 15 years before moving to North Dakota. And basically, a friend of mine told me that it was a lot of opportunity out in North Dakota. They lived here years prior to me coming out here, and I took them up on that opportunity. So here I am.
So from California to Vegas, all the way to Minot, because your friend said it was opportunities. I want to touch on that real quick just for a special second. I want people to understand how opportunities work. See, for me, if many of you that know me, one of my biggest words is now. No opportunity wasted. And sometimes those opportunities are going to take you places in life that you most likely didn't see yourself even going. Because I'm pretty sure, Goldie, there's no way in the world you can tell me you left the warm California, went to the warm Las Vegas, that you saw yourself in North Dakota without that friend telling you there were opportunities. And before we keep going, I want to welcome everybody again for chiming in. I thank you. Ernest is on the line. You know he's always going to be there to check on us. My mama on the line, mama got to check on her baby. And I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. But you said your friend said there was opportunities in North Dakota. What type of opportunities were there that aligned with who you are that he saw in you to say, come here because these are opportunities? What were those opportunities he was referring to?
Well, at the time, I really didn't know what he meant by that, but now I believe that he meant there wasn't a lot of people doing the type of thing that I do or the type of work that I do, and it's just opportunities that wasn't presented in Vegas. There's not a lot of people who do what I do, basically.
And you say there's not a lot of people that do what you do, but what is it? So people, I know what you do. I want you to tell the people, what is it that you do that's so unique that others weren't doing it in North Dakota?
Well, I do a lot. Mama Made It is pretty much a custom event planning service. We also offer party rentals such as tables, chairs, character costumes, and I specialize in making custom party treats, custom party decor, custom clothing, just a lot of custom handcrafted items.
So you say when you say custom, like I gotta admit, I don't have the creative bone in my body. You told me to go out there and make something custom. You're not gonna like what I supply, but you basically bring the value of enjoyment to parties and people. You take somebody else's vision of what they have and you create it and give it to them. That's what you actually do on like that's what Mama Made It is.
Yeah, and that's just one of the things that's like my specialty. But we have other services that we offer, but pretty much I take their vision and bring it into reality. Also, the stress of planning a party, the timing, that goes into planning a party, they don't have to worry about that. If I'm planning your party, you don't have to worry about that.
So I want everybody to catch what Goldie just said. She takes their vision and brings it to life. Remember, we're all big about purpose on this show. And if you haven't seen the previous shows, go back, especially the one from last week, where we talked about vision. Whenever you're living in your purpose, everybody starts with the vision piece, and then it breaks down after that. You take somebody else's vision. So your gift is to be able to bring visions to life. And you apply that to your business and live in your purpose by bringing others' visions to life. Now, you said there's other services you provide. And I'm not letting you get away from that because of the simple fact it's somebody out there that's watching that are like, I think I can do this creative stuff. And then you said you have other services, but I want you to don't try to hold back. We're not letting on this show. We don't keep secrets. I'm not letting you hold back those other services. I want you to tell everybody everything about those services because, like I said, there's somebody out there that's looking at you right now like they're going to get inspired because, like I said, you went from California to Minot where it's cold. So your gift and your services must be great for you to go all the way to Minot and for somebody to see that in you. So what's those other services? Don't be holding back from us. We want it all.
Okay, me and my children, we make our famous lemonade that that the town fell in love with. We have like about 8 different flavors of lemonade. I make custom jewelry like these earrings that I'm wearing right now. I make custom clothing like this jacket right here. This was just
hold on. You made that Paw Patrol jacket?
Yep, it was just like a regular or old jean jacket that pretty much I got from the thrift store, and I turned it into this.
You saying old jean jacket from the thrift store? My son used to love Paw Patrol. I needed you back then. That ain't no thrift store jacket. That look like something that's something you go in the mall and spend $50, $60, $70 just so your kid can go outside and talk about they lost it at school.
This right here gonna be about 100 if you go to the mall.
Wow. And that so hold on. You said something and I'm not finna let it slip away. You said the kids in the lemonade. So I want everybody to understand something. When you're walking in your purpose, you open the door and make a path for those to walk behind you and follow in your steps. So Goldie has started living in her purpose, using her gifts that her own kids are following in her footsteps. They could be like many other kids out there playing games, getting into trouble, all kinds of stuff that are not providing for their life. But instead, you are setting an example for those to follow in behind you to include your kids. You got, like Ernest said it best, the little entrepreneurs. And you said lemonade. And I love me some lemonade. So I want to know, because normally you hear about kids with lemonade stands. How did you get your kids involved with lemonade? How did that work?
Well, actually, like around Mother's Day, on Mother's Day of this year, I decided to do a pop-up shop.
Okay.
I made Mother's Day baskets. I made handcrafted like vase. I made a lot of different stuff. And we went out to go sell. We just like popped up out of nowhere. We just went like down on the side of the road and popped up like, and we pretty much sold out. Like we sold out. My kids, they made paintings. My son, he do paintings, and my daughter, she wanted to start a lip. It was actually her idea. My daughter, she at the time she was 6 years old. She wanted to start a lemonade lip gloss stand. So
Wait, hold on. So we got party planning, custom everything. We got a lemonade stand. We got painters. Your son paints. And then you say your daughter does makeup.
yes.
Is there anything that y'all don't do? I need a
No.
house built. Can y'all come out here? I need some construction work done.
Yeah, we do a lot. We also do like community events. We do face paintings for the kids, like a lot of different stuff.
Wow. So I'm sorry. I'm still you're doing all this amazing stuff. Your kids are doing amazing stuff. And I don't want this to go by. I want this to be I gotta touch on this. When you have kids, and we normally don't do this. So society has this thing where they put our kids in school, they go to school all day, they come home, just play, and they just basically keep going. They start living the purpose that the world has for them. Social media tells them, you got to do this, you got to do this if you want to be successful. And it never taps into kids. What do you want to do? What is that purpose for that kid? Where you're doing as a mother, you're basically honing those skills with your kids and helping them use their gifts to live in their purpose. And most people don't do that with kids. And I want to, first of all, before we even go any farther, I want to commend you because that's excellent. You normally don't hear about this. Most people have the video games. Most people have these devices. Those devices are raising those kids. But no, you're taking your kids with you. And I swear, you said a pop-up. You and your family are the epitome of Mr. Pull Up On Me. Because y'all pull up on them in a minute.
And we gonna pop up and we gonna pop out anywhere. But not only that, like most of the events that we do, especially like the community events and the stuff that we do for the kids, it's all me and my kids, we talk and we come up with these ideas together because they 7 years old and 11 years old. So I have to
wait, hold on. You're not finna talk past that. You said 6 and 11?
Well, she's 7 now, but she just turned 7 and he's 11 going on 12. But I consult with them pretty much about everything that we do in this business. Those are my business partners.
Wow.
They help me put all of the events together. It's just me and my kids. I don't have like a whole lot of people. We talk about it, we put it together, we do what we got to do. Sometime like they take donations from their lemonade stand. The donations that they get, they put towards. We put together these these events that's free to the public, and yeah, pretty much.
You said something right there. Your kids, not only because you refer to them as your business partners, and I know you were like me growing up. You always heard these kids don't need to be in grown folks' business. But nobody ever thought to say, hey, when you're building something and you're trying to teach your kids something, they never talk about when it's time to bring the kids back to the adult table so that they can learn those things. Because we just automatically assume that when your kid, because you know the world, your kid turns 18, they're grown, get them out the house. But you never gave them the skills to be able to be contributing members to society once they get outside of that house. But you're starting now at 7 and 11, not only contributing back to society, you have them giving back to the community. And you said something right there. Most people think, oh, you got to be rich and have all this money to give back to the community. You have not only at the young age, because ain't none of us billionaires yet, but you already have your kids giving back to the community. Can you expound on what kind of, because people like me, I love to try to get back to the community, but remember, I'm not the creative one here. So I want you, please tell us what kind of creative ways do you and your kids give back to the community? What are the type of options out there for us?
Well, like we put together like events. Like we did a Fun in the Sun event. It was summertime. It was hot. We had water games. We had watermelon, hot dogs, snacks, like stuff like that. We set up activity tables, slime tables, or like we did other events. We had like a beauty bar. We set up a beauty bar for the girls. We set up like a Lego building station for the boys, pretty much. We have an event coming up. Well, 2 events coming up in the next couple days. A Halloween, a trunk or treat event, passing out candy. My kids, they're gonna be selling their lemonade at the Harley Davidson store out here in Minot. We pretty much booked for that event.
So before, well, I want to let you know before we go, because Ernest Usher was like just saying you talented. Y'all got the whole family just out there, little entrepreneurs. And then Susan Washington chimed in talking about you speaking well up there. And my wife, Deanna Graham chimed in talking about if that's not purpose, I don't know what is. Because you are not just living in your purpose, you are teaching your kids how to live in your purpose. And there's something you said right there that I want people to catch on. When you're living in your purpose, when I say it opens doors, your gift opens doors, you and your kids didn't have to go down and kick down Harley Davidson. You teaching your kids how to network at such an early age. They're networking where their services are going to be at the Harley Davidson shop. You're teaching your kids to network with the community. Like, and I know what you're doing to help your kids get involved, but what got you started? Because we know you're creative. But what made you say, this is my purpose, this is my gift, I'm finna do it? What got you started with all this creativity and having Mama Made It? Like, how did they all get started?
Well, I always been crafty, but I always I always been creative, always been crafty, always been able to make something out of nothing. But like pretty much when I was like pregnant with my daughter, I was having like complications due to pregnancy and stuff like that, where I had to be on bed rest, and that's all I pretty much could do at the time. I used to craft a lot, but I loved it so much. Like I could do it all day and night. I never get tired. Like I loved it. But I'm like, if I could do this and make some money, and I tried selling stuff, like, but people I know would always want a discount, or, you know, it never really worked out. Like people were like, oh, that's nice, but then they never really wanted to buy it. So I'm like, I thought that I would be able to make money and stuff like that, but nobody really wasn't feeling it. So I still had to work and stuff like that. But like when COVID hit, I was able to like really figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And that's pretty much when I got started. That's when I came up with Mama Made It.
So you said something, and I don't know if you said it on purpose or if you didn't realize you said it. When you said that you just make it happen, you're making a way out of no way. You know what? I know somebody else that makes a way out of no way. It's my business partner, the Holy Spirit, God. He makes a way out of no way. So I want everybody to understand how your gifts work. So God made you. They said in the Bible, He made you in His image. The gift that you have, He already put it inside of you. It's no just by chance that our minds and our gifts work the way it does. You don't just make things happen out of being so creative, making a way out of no way, because God makes a way out of no way. You don't just by chance happen to go from California to Minot and your gifts just open up, not just for you, but for your kids. That's God making a way out of no way. And when people come to you for a vision and they like, I don't know, I just know I want this for my kids' party. I know I want this. That is God would get the gift He gave you, that you have the ability to take their vision and make a way out of no way. You have a way of using your purpose and your gifts to create something for not just people, but for the world, for the community, that others can't do. And it's not just in you. That same gift, that same purpose That's in your kids. And they're learning that from you. You are the walking example for them. And there's people out there, I want people to understand. I want all of you to understand what you are sitting there doing. Those around you, your kids, your family members, they're going to mimic what you do. If you do nothing, they're not going to do nothing. And then we look at society and we wonder like why so many people are not doing something. That's because everybody's not doing what Goldie's doing. She's not sitting there on the side. She's making a way out of no way. And it's teaching her kids how to make a way out of no way. It's a family full of people in that house using their gifts to live in their purpose. And I noticed you said that's how mama doing all this stuff is how mama made it, got started. A lot of people have business names. I know my business names. I know what made me come up with those business names. But where did mama made it come from?
Okay, I thought you would ask.
You know, I told you I'm diving into everything. I want it all.
That it have multiple meanings. Mama made it, meaning I made something out of nothing, like we just said. And I said, like, when my kids, I make pretty much everything for them. So when their friends ask, like, oh, where you get that from? My mama made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so me and my friend was pretty much just joking around one day. And at the time, I'm like, I didn't really have a name for my business or like a set name. So I was just like, we was playing around. But then I was just like, okay, that's it. Mama made it. But that's how we pretty much came up with that name.
Mama made it. So if that's how you came up with that name, what do your kids call their? Because they got, them little entrepreneurs got so many businesses. Do they have names for their businesses?
Right now, their the lemonade is just their name is Dakari and Milagro, and that's the name of their lemonades. It's just Dakari and Milagro's famous lemonade.
Wow. Now, before we go any further, because I want to thank all of those that are just now tuning in. Thank you, Linda Brown, LB. Appreciate you for coming back. Hey, we're going to have y'all. Matter of fact, I might want you and LB. I'll touch on that in a minute. Something just popped in my head. Before we go any further, in case we have people that have to run or anything, can you tell people how can they get in touch with you? Like, how can they get in touch with Mama Made It?
Yes, on Facebook. Hold on, let me grab this real quick. On Facebook, it is my Mama Made It, and on Instagram is my MYMA dot Mama Made It.
Now, the reason,
and if you go to either one of my social media, I do have a link tree where you can access all of my social media platforms.
Yes, and for y'all that are just tuning in, beware the link tree will be down in the comments. So I want you to make sure you go check Mama Made It out. But I just wanted you to do that real quick, so I didn't want nobody to miss ways to get in touch with you. But I want to keep going right quick. I want to keep going because everybody doesn't know. Me and you had some stuff to talk about, and I want to chime in on some things. Now, you said your two kids; those are your business partners.
Yes.
I want to know who else in your life inspires you to do what you do.
Like I mentioned, my friend who pretty much planted the seed and invited me out here to North Dakota. Also, Ernest Usher, who invited me to this, to the show. So I definitely would like to thank him. I met him. He came to one of our pop-up shops. So yeah, and then I was invited to do the Juneteenth event, and pretty much we've been rocking ever since then.
So the reason I asked that question, because I don't think some people get it, but I don't think everybody gets it. Because I know I used to be this individual. I was closed myself out. I was on that Drake. No new friends. I ain't want nobody knowing my life. I ain't trust nobody. No new friends. But I was blocking what God was trying to do for me, because He strategically places people in your life to help you live in your purpose. We are all helpmates to each other. That's why they call it networking. That's why networking is so huge. You have people that are going to come into your life, some for a season, some just for a split second, some for a lifetime. But you have God puts people in your life to help you live in your purpose, because along the way, your purpose is going to help somebody else live in their purpose. But if we don't let anybody in and we keep everybody closed out, we can't live in our purpose, because we can't allow people come in to help us. So I asked that question to you because, like Ernest, I deal with him. I appreciate him. He's a great business partner to have. If anybody's looking for any marketing, that's your guy. But there's a reason for that. People come in our lives to help us live in our purpose. And you are living in your purpose as Mama made it. And your kid, I'm sorry, I got to keep touching on these kids, because I'm just thinking about the kids you normally see that have so much talent that nobody chimes into. The kids are just looking for that outlet, somebody to help bring them along. But they have a mother like you who is so creative and so visionary. And you said during COVID, because we touched on that a minute, like people not wanting to pay for your services. They think that we just sit here and stuff is just made out of no way. But during COVID, with your business, how were you able to sustain during COVID with so much stuff going on? Because there was no events and parties being planned. People were on lockdown. Like, how were you able to keep your business going?
Well, basically, I've been working like my whole entire life. I've been working. I worked so many jobs that I didn't like, jobs that I wasn't appreciated, jobs that didn't care about me or my time, being away from my children and stuff like that. But during COVID, I was pretty much laid off, and I started like receiving unemployment benefits. And with my unemployment money, I just start buying everything that I needed to start my business. So that's pretty much how I got started. Like I was like, during this time that I'm not working, you know, I'm getting a little money or whatever, I was able to still, whatever money that I had extra, I would buy a computer, I would buy a printer, I would buy, you know. And then during that time, I'm just like watching videos, or just practicing, learning how to like make new stuff, you know, learning how to work the machinery or stuff that I just bought. Pretty much learn how to work everything.
So I say this all the time. COVID, when it hit, it was a tragic. I still pray for all the families and of those that lost people due to COVID, and COVID is still going on. It's huge. It's not something to joke with. But I want to chime in because a lot of people, you're not the only one, but I commend you as well, that took that as the opportunity. You realized you were in a job that did not care about you, did not care about your time, was not worried about if your kids were going to survive or eat. They didn't care. They were all about themselves and that bottom line, that bottom dollar. And
exactly.
I want you to understand, you may be in this situation. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to quit your 9 to 5. But you're sitting there not using your gift and not living in your purpose, but you're helping somebody else boost their purpose in life. That don't sound right. So I want you to understand, because again, I'm not telling you to quit your 9 to 5. Some people's purpose, it aligns with a 9 to 5. I met people that were garbage truck drivers. Loved it. It aligned with their purpose. Their purpose was to keep everything sanitary and clean. They were living their purpose. Not telling you not to do your 9 to 5. But you can't be creative like you want to be sitting in a cubicle.
Right. And then it's like so many restrictions. You can't wear this, you can't do this. And 9 times out of 10, well, I felt like I was more qualified than the people who I was working for. So it just wasn't sitting right with my soul. So I had to do something.
You said something right there I want people to get. Because this happens a lot more in office. You were more qualified than the people that were in charge. And I want you to understand something, especially when it comes to gifts now. When you have a gift, I told you this before, it's something that comes off so easy to you, but hard to everybody else. Like when you say qualified, it's not that she necessarily, like not necessarily that Goldie just went to school, got all these degrees, not saying that. But she was more qualified because her gift, the thing that's inside of her, it was easy for her. You know those things where you can just do it with your eyes closed. And everybody's like, wow, how did you do that? How you do your craft. You do it with your eyes closed and everybody's like, wow, how do you do that? That's what your gift is. So if people, I'm trying to teach y'all something. If you're wondering what your gift is, it's something that's easy to you, that's difficult to others. Something that you can do without even thinking. And many of us are not using our gift, and it's just sitting on the shelf. And I want to tell you, your gift has a shelf life. If you don't use it in the time period that it's supposed to be used, it expires. So you need to understand that. And I'm glad you had that opportunity, because you could have sat at home and like had a pity party. An obstacle arose. When obstacles arise, God don't want you to just sit down and lay over. God wants you to get up. That's an opportunity. An obstacle is just another opportunity. It's a learning lesson. And you took that time to learn how to hone your craft, how to build your skills. For mama made it, and you was at home. The kids was there with you. So I'm sure while you was honing your craft, what were they doing? Honing their craft. Right. But you said, hold on, I got to cut. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep going back to these kids, especially Lemonade Stand. And Linda Brown chimed in and she was like, you smart and savvy. I'm telling you, the people loving what you're saying. Smart. I agree, Linda. She is smart and savvy. But I want to chime in because I got to keep going, because I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna keep going back to lemonade, because if anybody don't know, lemonade, Kool-Aid, whatever age you can think of, I love it. How did your kids learn? Because I still got people now to this day. We go to restaurants. Restaurants can't get the lemonade right. How did your kids figure out this lemonade thing?
I pretty much taught them. It's a recipe that we use growing up.
Now I asked you that for a reason. So many of us are holding on to skills and knowledge that we are not passing down or passing on, sharing with others, passing down to generations, and it's going to the grave with us. My friend Corey Fox refers to it as bankrupting the cemetery, because there's so many $1 million ideas, so many inventions that weren't made, so many books that weren't written in that graveyard because nobody passed it on. And I want to commend you. I'm going to keep commending you because I think that's wonderful. Like my mama, Felicia Draper, she taught me how to make Kool-Aid. I know it to this day, man. If you know anything about my mama and me, we got OCD. Kool-Aid 2 packs, 2.5 cups sugar. We got it measured out. We're not just gonna pour the sugar bag in there. But you pass on that recipe. And when your kids came up with that idea for the lemonade stand, what made it such a big hit in Minot? Because I'm thinking about Minot, and lemonade is not registering. What made lemonade such a huge thing for them? Because I know y'all pulled up on them. But what made it such a hit?
In Minot or in North Dakota, well, I've lived in at least, 2 different cities, 2 different cities or towns or whatever in Minot, but it's a thing out here. A lot of people, they do lemonade stands in the summer, but I think what set our lemonade stand apart from everybody else is that we have, like I said, 8 different flavors. We have sugar-free lemonade as well. We also sell other stuff. Like I said, my daughter have her lip gloss. My son, he sell his painting. So we don't just sell like lemonade. We have other stuff. And not only that, my kids, they personalities, they got live personalities. So people love them.
I wonder where they got that personality from. Because I'm not going to lie. I told you I'm going to keep coming because you're not finna hold back. But you said something right there. I want everybody to understand. Goldie said that other people had lemonade stands. I want you to understand your gift is unique to you. Other people might have similar gifts, but what God has for you is for you. They pulled up. They were out there with the other lemonade stands, but what God had for those kids was for them. They don't have your kids' personalities. They don't have the abilities that your kids have, but God has a purpose for you. And what's for you is for you. It doesn't matter who your competition is, because those kids went out there and took over the lemonade stand. They the
And
lemonade
to
entrepreneurs.
be honest, their lemonade stand opened up doors for Mama Made It, because during that time, like I said, my business, I'm just getting started. So I'm still in the beginning stages of, like, of my growth or whatever. But with them out selling lemonade, I was able to pass out flyers. We made a lot of connections with other business owners, other people, like a lot of different people from the community of all diversities. We met so many people over the summer, and like I said, that pretty much helped me with my business too. I was able to pass out flyers and make connections and meet people who needed my party services.
Wow. So we had Ernest Fishburne, my brother, chime in talking about the blessings and the determination. I want you to understand what that determination looks like. You gave and taught your kids a skill set. Because remember, I want you to understand how gifts and purpose, your purpose work. This time I want to focus on your purpose. Your purpose of passing something down to your kids and raising them the way you're raising them in the right way, that purpose of helping them opened up doors for you. And I want people to understand, when you're living in your purpose, don't be selfish with it. It's called a gift for a reason. You're supposed to give it away. You're not supposed to keep it to yourself. I've never seen people get a gift and be like, nope, I bought this gift for myself. You buy gifts for other people. So that gift and that purpose that you can pass down to your kids, and that determination that Ernest Fishburne talked about, that determination came full back circle and boosted Mama Made It. It opened people. Ooh, I can keep going with this. People saw how you did with your kids and how you took the vision of your kids, and it made them realize, if Goldie can take the vision that her kids have, then she can take the vision I have and make something happen. I know one thing. I'm going to figure out a way for you to help me with some party services and some creativity, because I don't have any.
Shipping is available for, shipping is definitely available.
You say shipping is available?
For the lemonade and for any like shippable party item, like custom party treats, custom clothing, all custom jewelry, all of that is available for shipping.
Hold on. Not only is y'all doing this, y'all have a distribution way. I know just going to post office, but this y'all can ship. We're going. So in order to get the lemonade, do we contact you the same way for the information on the website and all that stuff?
Facebook. I have a Facebook business suite. You can contact me on Facebook or Instagram, or through the link tree, any one of the social media. I mean, any one of my links in the link tree.
Wow. Now, my mama Felicia chimed in and she said, you living in your purpose, and I cannot agree more. But I want to know, because we talked about COVID, we talked about what you do for your kids. I want to know, with Mama Made It, especially during these times with COVID, what keeps you going? Like, what is that one thing that keeps you going, keeps you waking up? Because I know you said you worked the jobs, they laid you off. Like, what keeps you going in pursuing your gifts, living in your purpose? What's your drive? What is that keeps you going every day?
I would say my children, or just the fact that I don't want to go back to like not doing what makes me happy. Like, I don't want to go back to working a job that I'm miserable at and stuff like that. I want to be happy. I want to do what I love and be happy, and that's pretty much it.
You said two things right there: making you happy and not going back to that job, and your kids. Now, when I'm trying to explain to people to live in your purpose, one of the biggest things of living in your purpose is you have to know your why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you get up if you don't have a why and you're just walking around this earth, you're basically living to live. You're just going from day to day. You're going through the most. You have to have a why that keeps pushing you. And not only that, you have to understand your gift. Because let's be honest, your gift is what makes you happy. Think of it this way. If you had to take money off the table, if you can wake up and do whatever you want every single day and not have to worry about money, you have to ask yourself, what would that one thing be? And when you think long and hard about that, you'll start to realize what your gift is. Because your gift, 9 times out of 10, people tell you what your gift is. We kind of blow it off. I know I did. Other people I've interviewed and talked with, they kind of did not know that was their gift. When you understand your gift is the one thing that makes you happy, like Goldie said, that's when you can start living in your purpose. And then that why is what makes you keep getting up and keep going every day. Your why could be your family. Your why could be the customers. Your why can be anything that makes you happy. Whatever that is, that's how you live in your purpose. Now,
right. Not everybody is like made to wear a suit and tie or be a doctor or a lawyer and stuff like that. Your calling might be a tattoo artist or a makeup artist, a painter, a songwriter, whatever it is. You got to do what makes you happy.
Hold on now, you over there preaching to me, Goldie. I like that. The everybody out there loves it. They say you're understanding your gift and you're living in your purpose. And I agree with them. You are living in your purpose because you got the preaching on me right then. And I love that because you said not everybody's not made for a suit. Not everybody's made for a tie. But before that, because you said it earlier and you just said what people are made for. Before you were let go during COVID and you said you weren't happy, you wasn't treated right. Can you tell people what is that moment that made you realize, even because obviously it came before you got laid off, what was that moment when you realized that this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing?
I
told you I was going to dig deep.
Let me think. Okay, basically, okay, so let me tell you, okay, the last job that I was working at, and it was out here pretty much, I was nominated for an award. Like I was working front desk, and I was nominated for the like the hospitality award or whatever. Like some people, they came from Canada and they stayed at our hotel, but basically they ended up writing a letter to some people, and I was like nominated for an award. But my general manager or whatever, she pretty much sabotaged me to where she didn't want me to get that recognition. It was like I was supposed to, well, I did get like a news article, but she set it up to where I had to work that day and wasn't able to like to go receive my award and get my picture taken and pretty much get the recognition that I deserve. So that was pretty much like the last straw right there. I'm like, that was pretty much it.
I got to break down what you just said for everybody. Somebody that did not even know you saw the greatness in you, recognized the greatness in you to the point that they wanted others to know. And that they wrote letters in and everything. And then somebody that did know you, your boss, was not finna let that happen because your boss refused to see the maybe your boss did see the greatness in you and realized that they didn't have that same greatness in you inside of them. And
she was very much intimidated. So
and that's why I was just about to go. I want you to understand how your gift works. So your gift isn't for everybody.
And basically just me being able to, like, I haven't worked at the hotel in over 2 years and people still calling and asking for me and stuff like that. I could pretty much do her job better than her without even trying. And it was like, that wasn't even like, I wasn't never trying to be like the manager or do any of that, because like that, I knew that's not my gift. That was just a job that I was working at to try to make ends meet. But I've always planned on starting like my own business. So I was just working there to get to, the next step. But like I said, she was very much intimidated or felt like that I was coming for her job, because people, when they come there, they be like, are you the manager? Are you the manager? Like, I'm like, no, but stuff like that. So, but yeah, so she did that, and it was like, enough is enough, because that's not the first time that something like that has happened to me at jobs. It didn't happen like way more than once. And it's just like, I know that I just know I have to find what makes me happy.
And you touched on a couple things there. And Mark out there, he's saying it with you, like sabotage is real. And sometimes we do sabotage ourselves, along with those that are out there trying to sabotage us. But we already know Miss Goldie was not having it. She's not accepting it. That boss that saw that greatness in you that she didn't see in herself. Because again, I told you, your gift is not for everyone. Your gift is meant for who it's meant for.
But that right there made me boss up. I was like,
I love it. Did y'all hear what she said? It made her boss. Sometimes God puts you in situations, because you heard her when she said it didn't sit right with her spirit. It wasn't sitting right with her. And he does things and puts you in situations to make you uncomfortable so that he can get you where he wants you to be, which is aligned with the purpose that he set you here for. God put you here. You have a purpose. God puts us all here. It's already predestined. He has it all laid out, and he puts us here to live in the purpose that he designed us for. And if you're not living in that, he finds ways to move you around to get you back where he wants you to.
That was pretty much the moment where I determined I'm not going to let nobody else like determine my greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I bossed up pretty much.
And I want people to catch that too. That was an opportunity. Because remember, I want people to understand how opportunities work, because Miss Goldie just told you how she used the opportunity to boss up. Now, I told you God aligned you up. When her friend told her to come to Minot, that wasn't the first opportunity. One of those opportunities came when that boss sabotaged her. That was an opportunity. You have to understand that all opportunities aren't positive. Some opportunities come in a negative format for God to switch you over so you can start living the positive by living in your purpose. And that negative opportunity is how Goldie bossed up. And that's why she was living it lined up. Boss up. Then your friend calls, boss up even more. And then what do? You turn around and you look at your kids and you make them boss up, because you got little bosses and bossettes running around.
I don't want them to have to go through. I want them to be able to work for themselves or be millionaires before they age 18, or just not have to deal with the stuff that I had to deal with, you know?
That's Goldie, you just touched on something that the world needs to hear. You're always taught, do better for your kids than I did for you. But nobody ever wraps back around and instead says, teach your kids what you didn't know that you know now. You are teaching your kids something that they shouldn't have to learn later on down the line. You're teaching your kids at the early age. Instead of giving, you're teaching. And that teaching is going to have it to where they're not just giving for themselves. You already say they're giving back to the community. And that's going to start going down and pass down with their kids. I understand. People got to understand. Whenever you want to break cycles and generational curses, it starts with you. But that's only possible when you're living and aligned with your purpose. If Goldie stays at that hotel and just keeps taking it and never bosses up, those lessons never get passed down.
And I told my kids that I plan on teaching them everything I know. I don't know, even though they're young, I'm gonna still teach them everything I know, like while I'm on this earth. It's just the fact that tomorrow is not promised to nobody. So I'm gonna give them as much game as I possibly can, like as much as they can take for their age, of course. But it's stuff like that. Like my son, he pretty much any of I can say go print out 20 flyers. You know, I can say go do this or go do that while I'm doing something else. Like I'm teaching them everything.
And you, by you teaching them everything, that is the epitome of what I say. That my boy Corey Fox said, my brother, That's how you bankrupt the cemetery. Don't take all that knowledge with you. Don't take your gifts with you to the cemetery. Pass that knowledge and your gift out. That's how you ultimately live in your purpose. Miss Goldie, you are what I call the epitome of living in your purpose, like the ultimate person. Not only are you using your gift to live in your purpose, you're giving out your gift, not just to the world, but to your kids. Your purpose is also teaching your kids about your gift to help it align with their gift. And then they're not only keeping it to themselves, they're sharing their gift at the ages of 7 and 11. How many 7 and 11-year-olds do you know sharing their gifts at that young age with the world? And how does that happen? Because Miss Goldie is bankrupting the cemetery and leaving it out here for everybody. I want you to understand the reason why you got to do that. That's how you align yourself with your purpose.
Speaking of, okay, so I'm soon going to be like offer classes and workshops so that I can teach children and adults like how to pretty much do everything that I do too. How to make balloon arrangements, how to make decor, how to do crafting and stuff like that. I'm soon going to be offering workshops to everybody in the community.
I don't see everybody. I told you that's the purpose of this show. The purpose of this show is so you can hear entrepreneurs, business owners, different personalities like Goldie show you how to get there. Somebody out there is listening to this show right now. They're creative. They have the mind that can transform anything that you want. They can transform your vision and make your dreams and your vision come true. You're out there. And you don't have to try to figure this out alone. That's what networking is about. And Goldie just told you she's finna start offering ways for you to learn how to do this. So if you're not connected yet, if you're tuned in late, if you haven't already found her information, I need you to go out there. It's in the chat. And I'm going to have her give it again. But I need you to go ahead, go to tell me what you got.
Oh, I was going to say, because I see the time running out, but the one thing that I do want to say is that, or what I've learned, that it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. Like I came from like literally nothing. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
So you said something right there, because it's a lot of us out there, and Goldie just told you during this interview, it doesn't take a lot to get started. She just told you she started from nothing. She took the money that she got during COVID when she got laid off, those unemployment, and she started her business. Some of you out there waiting and making excuses of why I haven't started. Oh, it's not the right time. Oh, I don't have the money. I'm here to tell you, based on thinking like that, the right time is never going to come. There's no such thing as the right time, because the right time is now. It's not about finances, because the money, however much you start, the first thing you got to do is you got to take that first step, because can't nobody walk in your footsteps until you take the first step. Goldie's kids cannot walk in her footsteps till she took the first step. They don't have that knowledge until she shares her gifts and pass it down to her. I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't take much to use your gift to live in your purpose, but it never happens until you start. And you start now, because Goldie just said it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And how you finish when that time comes, because she said it, nobody knows when we're going to get called home. But you got to make sure you bankrupt that cemetery. But before I even go any further, Goldie, I want you have to leave us with some final thoughts. Tell us something, anything that you want that viewer out there that's listening, tell them something that you feel will help them to start living in their purpose.
I would say like to just find what it is that you love to do, something that you're passionate about doing, and like try your best to share it with as many people as you can. And even if you don't know exactly what you want, you just start like what I did, just start writing down your ideas, start writing down goals and stuff like that, and then just it's pretty much the universe gonna work itself out. You just gotta start like with a vision, and then everything else pretty much gonna come to you.
That was a you just dropped the jewel at the end. And I want to make sure everybody that caught it. She just told you, let your vision help you make that plan. You can't just go out there. Builders have a blueprint. Coaches have a playbook. Teachers have lesson plans. In order for you to have your vision and live in your purpose using your gifts, you need to make a plan. She just told you, she laid it out throughout this whole interview, and then she dropped the jewel at the end. Have a plan. That's the only way you're going to live in your purpose, and everything's going to align for you. Now,
I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I just started writing down ideas and different stuff like that, and then it just all started coming together. At the time, I didn't know where I was going to get money from. I didn't know COVID was going to happen. I didn't know anything. But a couple years ago, I just started writing down different stuff that I wanted to do, and now it's all coming into reality. So I would just say, even if you don't know exactly what you want to do, just start writing down your dreams, your goals. Probably create a vision board or something.
She studied dropping jewels on the way out the door. She just told you again, start writing it down. Because when you start, because God, He's gonna put you where He wants you to get you to live in your purpose. And when you start going down that route of living in your purpose, all of a sudden, she just said it, things start aligning and things start working out.
Start manifesting what you want, and let the universe take care of the rest.
That's it. That manifest what you want. Align. You said something about that vision board and that goals, and I'm not letting that go because the viewers need to hear it. And I want you to know, it's time for you to start making God-sized goals. And when I say God-sized goals, I'm talking about goals so big that the only way they're going to work out is if God intervenes. Right. You need to make God-sized goals, not the goals society tell you to make, not the goals you think. Stop thinking on your level. Think on God's level, because He has this purpose and this gift for you that's aligned for you. So it's time for these God-sized goals. And again, God-sized goals so big that the only way they're going to work is by God continuing to intervene as you live in your purpose. Now, you drop them nuggets at the end, and I'm not finna let you go because of the simple fact you drop those nuggets and people are going to want some more of those, and they're going to want all that shipping information, all that, how to contact you. So again, can you please give us your contact information before you go?
On Facebook, you can find me at My Mama Made It. And on Instagram, it's my MYMA dot Mama Made It on Instagram. You could also find my link tree on either one of those platforms, and that'll take you to all of my other social media platforms.
That is amazing. Like, again, I want to thank you, Goldie, for coming on. It's been a blessing. You've been amazing.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you, Ernest.
We definitely going to have you back, because there's some more nuggets that you tried to drop them at the end, and there's some more in you. And we definitely bring you back on the show. But
thank you.
But before we go, now, don't you go anywhere, because I'm going to talk to you after the show. So stay on with me.
Okay.
But I thank you again, and I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Man, I don't know if y'all caught all those jewels. I don't know if you tuned in late. If you did, go back, watch again, because I promise you, the information that Goldie gave us was amazing about how she's using her gift, not just to live in her purpose, but she used her gift to teach her kids how to use their gifts to live in the purpose and share it with the world. It was amazing. I appreciate you all for tuning in to the Billy Graham Jr. TV show. Again, we look forward. We do this every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time. You can watch it live on Facebook at Billy Graham Jr. 2.0. You could also watch it stream live on YouTube, also Billy Graham Jr. 2.0. She dropped nuggets. We're going to have more guests coming on. If you haven't watched the previous shows, please go back and watch them, because it's information that you need to help you use your gift to live in your purpose. And we want you to live in your purpose. Why? Because God wants you to live in the purpose that He has you designed for. So I will see everybody next week. But until then, I want you all to continue to live in your purpose with purpose, on purpose. I'll see you next week.